In the vast, untamed corners of our planet, a silent drama unfolds every single day. It is a world far removed from our own, governed by ancient rules and driven by the most fundamental of instincts. Here, life is a constant, unyielding struggle. The breathtaking landscapes we admire, from the sun-scorched savannas of Africa to the frozen plains of the Arctic, are not just beautiful backdrops. They are, in fact, vast arenas. They are the stages for some of the most epic and dramatic conflicts imaginable. These are the battlegrounds of the animal kingdom, where survival is the only prize that truly matters, and every creature, great and small, must be prepared to fight for its place in the world. These confrontations are not born of malice or cruelty. Instead, they are the raw, unfiltered expression of the will to live. Every claw, every tusk, and every roar is a testament to the powerful forces that shape life on Earth. When we peer into this world, we witness moments of incredible courage, astonishing power, and profound desperation. A fight between two animals is more than just a fleeting moment of violence. It is the culmination of millions of years of evolution. It is a dance of survival, choreographed by necessity and performed with an intensity that can be both terrifying and deeply moving. It is a reminder that nature, in all its beauty, is also relentlessly demanding. The stories of these battles are written across the natural world. They are carved into the bark of trees, imprinted in the dusty earth, and whispered on the winds that sweep across the plains. From the smallest insect defending its food source to the largest whale competing for a mate, conflict is an inescapable part of existence. It is through these challenges that strength is tested and the future of a species is secured. These are not simple squabbles. They are epic sagas of resilience, where the outcome of a single encounter can determine the fate of an individual, a family, or even an entire lineage, echoing through generations to come. As we delve into these extraordinary showdowns, we are granted a privileged glimpse into the heart of the wild. We see the world through the eyes of its most formidable inhabitants and begin to understand the pressures they face. It is a world of high stakes, where every sunrise brings new challenges and every sunset marks the end of another day's struggle. The stories of these animal battles are the stories of life itself. They are tales of heroism, sacrifice, and the unbreakable spirit of survival that connects all living things on our remarkable planet. It is a theatre of the real, more compelling than any fiction we could ever imagine. At the very core of every animal conflict lie three fundamental pillars: the fight for family, the quest for food, and the defense of territory. These are not abstract concepts, but tangible necessities, the very building blocks of life. For an animal, losing a battle over one of these can mean the end. It is this incredible pressure that fuels the ferocity and determination we witness. When a mother bird stands up to a predator, she is not just defending a nest of twigs and leaves. She's safeguarding the next generation, the continuation of her genetic legacy. Her fight is a fight for the future itself, a selfless act driven by the most powerful instinct of all. The struggle for food is equally primal and relentless. In a world where resources are often scarce and unpredictable, a meal can be the difference between life and death. A pack of wolves chasing down a bison is not merely hunting. They are working together to secure their collective survival for the days and weeks to come. Every ounce of energy they expend, every risk they take, is a calculated investment in their future. The bison, in turn, fights back with equal desperation, for its life is the ultimate prize. This dynamic of hunter and hunted, of scavenger and defender creates a constant tension that defines the rhythm of the natural world. Territory, the third great cause of conflict, is about more than just a piece of land. It is about owning a space that provides everything needed to thrive. A well-defended territory contains reliable sources of food, safe places to shelter, and opportunities to attract a mate. For a leopard patrolling its domain, every scent mark and every warning call is a declaration of ownership. When a rival intrudes, the resulting clash is not a petty dispute over boundaries. It is a battle for control over the resources essential for survival and reproduction. The victor wins not just the land, but the security and prosperity it represents. These three motivations, family, food, and territory, are deeply intertwined, often overlapping to create even more complex and desperate confrontations. A lion pride's territory is valuable because it contains the hunting grounds that provide food, which in turn allows the pride to raise its young cubs. Therefore, a fight to defend that territory is simultaneously a fight for food and for family. Understanding these core drivers is essential to appreciating the true nature of animal battles. They are not random acts of aggression, but calculated, high-stakes contests where the competitors are playing for everything they have. There is perhaps no sound on the African savanna more iconic or intimidating than the roar of a male lion. It is a sound that carries for miles, a deep, resonant proclamation of power and presence. But this roar is more than just a warning. It is a challenge. For male lions, life is a relentless battle for control. The ultimate prize is a pride of lionesses, which represents the only opportunity to pass on their genes. To win a pride, a male, or often a coalition of males, must confront and overthrow the existing rulers. These takeovers are among the most brutal and dramatic events in the animal kingdom, a true fight for a dynasty. The reigning males of a pride will not surrender their position lightly. They have fought hard to earn it and will fight even harder to keep it. When challenges arrive, the confrontation is inevitable and violent. The ensuing battle is a terrifying spectacle of claws and teeth, with lions weighing over 400 pounds crashing into one another with incredible force. They bite, they slash, and they wrestle, each trying to inflict a fatal injury upon the other. The air is filled with guttural snarls and roars of fury. It is a raw, bloody affair where strength, experience, and sheer willpower determine the outcome. The stakes of this conflict extend far beyond the males involved. If the challengers are victorious, the consequences for the pride are profound and often tragic. The new dominant males will systematically seek out and kill any young cubs sired by their predecessors. This act, known as infanticide, may seem cruel, but it serves a vital biological purpose. By eliminating the previous male's offspring, the new lions bring the lionesses back into estrus more quickly, allowing them to sire their own cubs and begin building their own legacy without delay. The females of the pride will often fight fiercely to protect their young, but they are rarely a match for the determined new kings. This cycle of violence and succession is the engine that drives lion society. A male lion's reign is often brief, perhaps only lasting a few years, before he too is challenged and overthrown by younger, stronger rivals. His life is one of constant vigilance, forever looking over his shoulder for the next threat. This brutal reality ensures that only the most powerful and resilient males get to pass on their genes, a harsh but effective mechanism of natural selection. The lion's roar is therefore not just a sound of dominance, but also a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of power and the relentless fight for a lasting legacy. In the world of land animals, there are few sights as awe-inspiring as a confrontation between two bull elephants. These are true giants, the largest terrestrial creatures on Earth, and when they clash, the ground itself seems to tremble. These battles are not typically fought over territory, as elephants roam over vast distances. Instead, they are almost always about one thing: the right to mate. When a female elephant is in estrus, nearby males enter a state of heightened aggression and testosterone known as musth. During this period, their primary focus is to find receptive females and drive away any and all rivals, leading to spectacular and dangerous duels. A bull in musth is a formidable and unpredictable force. Temporal glands on the sides of his head swell and secrete a thick, tar-like substance, and he becomes intensely focused on asserting his dominance. When two bulls in musth meet, a fight is almost certain. They begin with elaborate displays, fanning their ears, kicking up dust, and trumpeting loudly to intimidate their opponent. This is a chance for the weaker or less confident male to back down. But if neither gives way, the posturing quickly escalates into a physical contest of unimaginable power, a true clash of titans that can last for hours. The fight itself is a breathtaking exhibition of brute strength. The bulls will charge at one another, their heads colliding with a sickening crack. They lock their immense tusks, twisting and pushing with all their might, each trying to gain leverage and force the other backwards. These are not just shoving matches, they are attempts to inflict serious injury. A well-aimed tusk can pierce an opponent's side, or even his head. The sheer force involved is staggering, as tons of bone and muscle are pitted against each other in a primal test of will. The dust swirls around them as they strain, their breath coming in heavy bursts. Eventually, one bull will begin to tire. The relentless pushing and shoving takes a tremendous toll, and the moment one gives ground, the other presses his advantage. The loser, exhausted and often injured, will turn and flee, pursued for a short distance by the victorious male, who trumpets his triumph across the plains. The winner has earned the right to court the female, securing a chance to father the next generation of these magnificent animals. These epic duels, though violent, are a critical part of elephant society, ensuring that the strongest and most determined bulls are the ones who contribute to the future of the species. The world of birds may seem serene and peaceful, but it is home to some of the most dramatic and desperate battles in nature. When it comes to defending their young, even the smallest of birds can transform into creatures of astonishing courage and ferocity. A nest filled with delicate eggs or helpless chirping chicks represents the entirety of a parent bird's investment for the year. It is their future, their genetic legacy, and they will go to extraordinary lengths to protect it from harm. This parental devotion leads to incredible acts of bravery, as birds take on predators many times their own size. Consider the plover, a small bird that nests on open ground, leaving its eggs dangerously exposed. When a predator like a fox approaches, the parent bird does not simply fly away. Instead, it performs a brilliant and daring act of deception known as the broken wing display. It will move away from the nest, dragging one of its wings on the ground as if it were badly injured. This makes the bird appear to be an easy, helpless meal. The predator, drawn in by the prospect of a simple catch, is lured further and further away from the vulnerable nest, following the injured parent. Once the parent has led the threat a safe distance away, the miraculous recovery occurs. The bird suddenly springs into the air, its wing perfectly fine, and circles back to its nest, leaving the confused predator behind. This is a battle of wits, not of strength, a calculated risk that pits a bird's intelligence against a predator's instinct. Other birds employ more direct tactics. The Arctic tern, for example, is famous for its aggressive defense of its nesting colony. Anyone or anything that wanders too close is met with a furious aerial assault as a swarm of terns dive bombs the intruder, screeching and pecking with their sharp beaks. These feathered furies demonstrate that size is not always the deciding factor in a conflict. Determination, cleverness, and the powerful instinct to protect one's family can create a formidable defense. Whether it's a tiny hummingbird chasing a hawk away from its nest, or a flock of mockingbirds mobbing a crow, these battles are a testament to the incredible strength of the parental bond. They are fighting for the most precious prize of all, the survival of their young. In these moments of pure, unadulterated courage, we see the unbreakable will to ensure that life goes on, no matter the odds. Beneath the shimmering surface of the world's oceans lies a vast and mysterious realm where the rules of engagement are entirely different. Here, in the three-dimensional arena of the deep, battles are fought with a unique blend of grace and brutality. One of the most spectacular underwater conflicts occurs between two of the ocean's most intelligent creatures, the sperm whale and the giant squid. This is a showdown of mythical proportions, a clash between the largest toothed predator on Earth and a colossal, many-armed invertebrate. For centuries, we only knew of these battles from the sucker-shaped scars left on the skin of whales. Now, with modern technology, we are beginning to witness these epic encounters. A sperm whale dives thousands of feet into the crushing blackness of the abyss, hunting for its primary food source. But the giant squid is no easy prey. Equipped with powerful tentacles lined with sharp serrated suckers, and a formidable beak capable of tearing flesh, it is a truly monstrous adversary. When the whale attacks, the squid fights back with everything it has. It envelops the whale's massive head with its arms, its suckers latching on, attempting to block the whale's vision and breathing, a swirling, chaotic ballet in the dark. The battle is a test of endurance and power. The whale uses its immense size and powerful jaws to try and subdue the squid, while the squid uses its flexibility and multiple limbs to constrict and confuse its attacker. These fights can last for a long time, taking place in a world pressure that would crush a human instantly. The whale must eventually return to the surface to breathe, adding a ticking clock to the confrontation. Often the whale is successful, returning to the light with its hard-won meal, but it almost always bears the scars of the encounter, permanent reminders of the fight it had to win to survive. This is just one of many conflicts raging in the ocean's depths. Male humpback whales engage in powerful acrobatic battles for the affection of females, charging each other and smacking their rivals with their enormous pectoral fins. Smaller creatures, like the mantis shrimp, possess claws so powerful they can strike with the speed of a bullet, shattering the shells of their prey and rivals alike. The ocean is not a tranquil paradise. It is a dynamic and dangerous world. It is a vast battlefield where every creature, from the colossal whale to the tiny shrimp, must fight for its food, its mate, and its very existence in the immense, silent theatre of the deep. In the world of reptiles, conflict is often a cold, calculated, and silent affair. These creatures, governed by instinct and ancient biology, engage in some of the most visually stunning and ritualized battles in the animal kingdom. Take, for instance, the Komodo dragon, the world's largest lizard. These formidable predators of the Indonesian islands do not only hunt large prey, they also engage in fierce combat with one another. Fights between males, usually over access to mates or a prize carcass, are astonishing displays of power. It is a struggle that seems to come from a prehistoric age. The combat begins with the two massive lizards sizing each other up, hissing and displaying their bulk. Then they rise up on their hind legs, using their powerful tails as a tripod for balance. In this bipedal stance, they become towering reptilian wrestlers. They grab each other with their front claws and attempt to throw their opponent to the ground. They push and shove, their thick, scaly hides protecting them from most damage. The goal is not necessarily to kill, but to dominate. The loser is the one who is pinned to the ground, forced into a position of submission before the victor. A similar form of ritualized combat can be seen in the snake world. When two male rattlesnakes compete for a female, they do not resort to using their venomous fangs. To do so would likely mean death for both, a pointless outcome. Instead, they engage in a mesmerizing dance of dominance. The two snakes will rise vertically, their bodies intertwined, and try to push each other down. They move with a strange, hypnotic grace, weaving and swaying as they wrestle for supremacy. The fight continues, sometimes for hours, until one snake is successfully and repeatedly forced to the ground, admitting defeat. These reptilian rivalries, from the thundering clashes of Komodo dragons to the silent, balletic combat of snakes, are perfect examples of how evolution has shaped conflict. The rituals minimize the risk of fatal injury, allowing a winner to be decided without needlessly sacrificing a member of the species. It is a system that allows for the testing of strength and the establishment of hierarchy while preserving life. These silent struggles, fought under the hot sun on dusty ground, are a powerful reminder that even in the most primal battles, there can be rules of engagement, an ancient code of combat written in the language of instinct. What is it that we see in the eyes of an animal locked in a desperate battle? It is more than just aggression or fear. It is a profound and powerful force, an unyielding will to endure. This determination is the invisible engine driving every claw swipe, every charge, and every defensive stand. It is the raw, unfiltered desire to live, to propagate, and to see another sunrise. When a lone wolf, separated from its pack, stands its ground against a massive grizzly bear over a carcass, it is not acting out of foolishness. It is driven by a hunger so profound that the risk of death is outweighed by the certainty of starvation. This incredible resolve is perhaps most evident in a mother's defense of her young. A female leopard, though smaller and less powerful than a male, will fight with unmatched ferocity to protect her cubs from an intruder. She becomes a whirlwind of snarls and claws, her every move fueled by a protective instinct that overrides any concern for her own safety. In that moment, she is not just a predator, she is a guardian. Her will to endure is not just for herself, but for the fragile lives that depend entirely upon her. It is a selfless courage that transcends species, a universal language of love and sacrifice. This same determination is visible in the exhausted muscles of a migrating wildebeest, fighting its way across a crocodile-infested river. It is in the desperate final charge of an old bull buffalo, surrounded by a pride of lions, making one last stand. Every animal, when pushed to its absolute limit, taps into this deep reservoir of will. It is a force that allows them to push through pain, to overcome fear, and to perform feats of strength and endurance that seem impossible. This inner drive is the very essence of survival, the spirit that refuses to be broken, even in the face of overwhelming odds. When we witness these moments, we are seeing more than just a biological imperative. We are seeing the very character of an animal laid bare. We see its tenacity, its courage, and its unshakable commitment to life. These battles are the ultimate test, stripping away everything but the core desire to continue. The will to endure is what transforms a simple conflict into an epic saga. It is the emotional heart of the struggle, the fire that burns in the eyes of every creature fighting for its place in the world, and it is a powerful and humbling force to behold. After witnessing the raw intensity and often brutal conclusions of these animal battles, it can be easy to see nature as a world of relentless, chaotic violence. But that is only a small part of a much larger, more intricate picture. These conflicts, in all their ferocity, are not agents of chaos. On the contrary, they are essential mechanisms within a finely tuned system. They are the instruments of balance. Every fight, from the grandest clash of elephants to the most subtle dance of rival snakes, serves a purpose in the grand design of the natural world, ensuring its health and continuity. These struggles are the engine of evolution. It is through conflict that strength is tested and fitness is proven. The victorious lion who wins a pride, the elephant who dominates his rivals, the bird who successfully defends its nest. These are the individuals who have demonstrated their superiority. They have proven they possess the best genes, the sharpest instincts, and the greatest resilience. By earning the right to reproduce, they pass these advantages on to the next generation, strengthening the species as a whole. In this way, conflict acts as a crucible, forging ever stronger and more adaptable creatures. Furthermore, these battles help to regulate populations and maintain the delicate equilibrium of ecosystems. Predators keep herbivore numbers in check, preventing them from overgrazing and destroying their habitat. Rivalries within a species ensure that territories do not become overcrowded, which would deplete resources and lead to widespread starvation. The cycle of life and death, so starkly illustrated in these confrontations, is what allows the entire system to thrive. The fall of one animal provides sustenance for another, and its energy is recycled back into the web of life. There is no waste in nature's economy. What these battles ultimately teach us is a profound lesson about interconnectedness. They reveal that life is not a series of isolated events, but a complex tapestry where every thread is connected. The strength of the predator is shaped by the evasiveness of its prey. The courage of the parent is defined by the vulnerability of its young. Nature, in its seemingly harsh wisdom, uses conflict not to destroy, but to create and sustain a vibrant, dynamic, and resilient world. And in understanding this delicate balance, we can find a deeper appreciation for the wild, not just for its beauty, but for its magnificent, intricate, and enduring logic.